Hey everyone, my name's Steve Jordans. I'm actually a professor of psychology at University of Toronto. That's my usual teaching gig. Um, but for the first time, I'm also going to be your professor for this course at the University of Fredericton. Now, I've kind of just been dropped into this. This is the first time I've done a course like this, and the voice you'll be hearing on the PowerPoints and such will not be mine. Not this term, at least. Perhaps in the future ones. But I will be in the background. I will be actually learning along with you, to be quite honest, and I'll be kind of administering the course and looking at what you're posting in the discussion forum and doing that sort of grading of work, etc., etc. Who am I? Why am I doing this? Well, I have to admit, when I saw it was the University of Fredericton, that's why I'm doing it. I grew up not far from Fredericton, a place called Nevers Road in Lincoln. For those of you who know the area, I did my first introductory psychology course at the University of New Brunswick. It was a televised course, so as close as you could come to online learning at that time. That was 35, 40 years ago. That was quite a while ago. And so when I got this offer to teach at the University of Fredericton, I think so highly of Fredericton. I really enjoy visiting it. I think of it as sort of my hometown, and I love the idea of being able to teach at this university and to connect with a lot of you people who I assume are from New Brunswick like me. So, a good chance to kind of reconnect with those roots, I guess. So at any rate, I will be plugged into the course. I hope you will find me extremely accessible. In fact, accessible in two forms. One form is the real me, and you can email me at any time. I should tell you my email address, but it's a UFred address, and I just got it. And I'm going through my emails as we talk to see if I can track it down. I assume looking at other ones that it might just be steve.jordans@ufred.ca. But I'm just trying to confirm that. But based on, yeah, I can confirm that right now. steve.jordans@ufred.ca. Now, notice the spelling of my name is a little odd. Jordans is spelled Dutch. It's a Dutch name, so Joordens. So anytime you have questions, feel free to reach out. I will also have office hours. There's times when I will have online office hours when you can just drop in and we can chat human to human, which is always nice. But in addition, you will also see a link to something called Virtual Steve. My research has me working in the AI space, and we're playing with a bunch of things right now, and one of them is this idea of virtual student assistants. And so Virtual Steve has been created to be a virtual version of me, to know what I know, to respond sort of how I would respond. And the cool thing about Virtual Steve is he's available 24/7. So if you ever have a question about the course, about things you're learning, and you'd like to ask somebody, you can click on that link and chat with Virtual Steve, and he will happily answer any questions you have, very accurately, by the way. That's not all he'll do. I want to just give you guys a heads up that as you're going through the course, and especially as you're preparing for the exam, you can also ask Virtual Steve to ask you questions. You can say, hey, I just did the chapter on memory, and can you ask me some questions about memory? And he will do so. And quite well. And that's a great way to kind of test your knowledge. You can also say, hey, give me those questions in multiple choice form if you want, whatever you want. So he's sort of your study buddy. You can ask questions, but he can ask you questions. You can interact with him to learn more about the content. So know that that's available for you. It's all anonymous too, by the way. You'll notice when you log in, it doesn't ask you for any information about yourself. Everything's anonymous. We keep the logs. We look at the logs just to make sure he's answering things accurately, which he is, and then we delete the logs very quickly. So, yeah. So that's the sort of idea. I'm here. Virtual Steve's here. We care about you having a great learning experience. So you'll see me poking around discussion forums and stuff like that. But also, please know I'm very approachable, and you can feel free to come to me with questions at any time. Okay. Other than that, I think the last thing I'll say is, be careful. I got seduced by my introductory psychology course. I was on my way to becoming a music producer. That was my goal. As I started learning about psychology, it fascinated me and it changed the course of my life. It has a habit of doing that. So you're going to come into contact with some very interesting stuff. You're going to learn a whole lot more about yourself. And don't be surprised if you start finding like, wow, this is really cool. I want to do more of this. That's a typical reaction. And yeah, that's the one I hope you have. Alrighty, I'm going to stop there for now. I wish you all good luck. I'm here anytime you want to reach out. Okay, have a great experience. Bye-bye.